In 2020, when millions of Americans were out of work and businesses across the nation were closing their doors, Lakewood Church, led by Pastor Joel Osteen, quietly accepted $4.4 million from a government relief fund meant to help small businesses survive. But Lakewood wasn't a struggling storefront ministry. It was already the largest megachurch in the United States, bringing in nearly $90 million every year. When this came to light, outrage erupted. Critics asked how a wealthy church, led by a pastor with an estimated fortune of tens of millions, could take money intended for desperate small businesses. That moment sparked intense backlash, but the loan scandal was only one part of a much larger story. Behind Osteen's bright smile and hopeful sermons lies a tale of family legacy, enormous wealth, closed doors during disasters, and a ministry that grew into a global business empire. Joel Scott Osteen was born on March 5, 1963, in Houston, Texas. He was the fourth of 6 children. His father, John Osteen, had once been a Southern Baptist minister. But in 1958, when Joel's sister Lisa was born with severe health problems, John's outlook changed dramatically. That moment pushed him toward preaching about healing and miracles. The following year, in 1959, John and his wife Dodie founded Lakewood Church inside a converted feed store. The building held only 234 seats, but the spirit inside it was powerful. Slowly, the congregation grew. Joel's siblings each found their own calling. Lisa eventually became a pastor herself. His brother Paul became both a surgeon and a missionary. Their mother, Dodie's story of surviving terminal cancer in 1981 further strengthened the family's belief in miracles and faith. But Joel was different. Quiet and shy, he had no desire to preach. Instead, he was fascinated with television and media. After graduating from Humble High School in 1981, he briefly attended Oral Roberts University to study radio and television. At 19, he returned home and built Lakewood's TV ministry from scratch. For 17 years, he worked behind the camera, producing, editing, and shaping how the church's message reached audiences across the country. John Osteen constantly asked Joel to preach, but Joel always said no. He insisted his place was behind the camera. Then, in January 1999, he finally agreed to step up and deliver his first sermon. 6 days later, tragedy struck. John Osteen died suddenly of a heart attack at age 77. Joel had preached only once, but now the church needed a leader. On June 7, 1999, he became Lakewood's senior pastor. He had no seminary training and no real preaching background, but he had something else, a style people found refreshing. Joel spoke about kindness, encouragement, and the hope of a better tomorrow. He didn't preach fear or damnation. He smiled, and soon he was called the Smiling Preacher. Critics said his sermons were too shallow, but millions of people loved them. Lakewood's attendance exploded. In 1999, 8,000 people came each week. By 2004, that number had jumped to 25,000. Joel expanded the church's television reach, invested heavily in media, and pushed Lakewood onto the national stage. In 2003, he made a bold move by leasing the Compaq Center, a former NBA arena in Houston. The 30-year lease cost $12 million, and Lakewood spent another $90 million on renovations. After 15 months of construction, the new sanctuary opened in July 2005. With seating for 16,000, the building filled up immediately. That same year, attendance soared to over 40,000 each week, and Lakewood broadcasts reached viewers in more than 100 countries. Joel Osteen's rise wasn't just about preaching. It was about branding. In October 2004, he published his first book, Your Best Life Now. Within 3 months, it sold over 500,000 copies. By May 2005, sales had passed 1 million, and ultimately more than 4 million copies were sold worldwide. It stayed on the New York Times bestseller list for more than 200 weeks, nearly 4 years. In 2005, Joel made a pivotal decision. He stopped taking a salary from the church. Instead, he built his fortune through books, speaking tours, and media. His 2007 book, Become a Better You, brought him $13 million. His Night of Hope events drew massive crowds across the country. Tickets cost around $50, and the shows often filled entire stadiums. By 2019, he was selling out London's Wembley Arena. Joel also became a fixture on national TV, appearing on Larry King Live, Good Morning America, and Oprah's talk shows. His wife Victoria stepped into a leadership role as co-pastor. In 2003, she launched Lakewood's women's ministry, and in 2008, her first book, Love Your Life, sold hundreds of thousands of copies. Their children, Jonathan, born in 1995, and Alexandra, born in 1998, grew up surrounded by the ministry and are now leaders in music and worship at Lakewood. Today, Lakewood has a yearly budget of about $70 million. Joel Osteen's personal wealth is estimated at $100 million, but Osteen's wealth has sparked backlash. In 2010, he and Victoria purchased a $10.5 million mansion in Houston's River Oaks, one of the city's wealthiest neighborhoods. The 17,000-square-foot home has 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 3 elevators, and space for more than 20 cars. Joel insists his wealth comes from his books, not the church, but to many critics. The mansion became a symbol of the prosperity gospel. That theology, the belief that faith leads to health and wealth, has divided Christians for decades. Supporters say it inspires hope. Opponents argue it blames the poor for their suffering and twists the message of the Bible into something closer to self-help than true faith. Some theologians call Osteen's message Christianity without a cross. Controversies have followed. After Hurricane Harvey in 2017, Lakewood initially kept its doors shut, even as thousands of Houstonians were left homeless. Osteen claimed flooding made the building unsafe, but viral videos told a different story. Only after days of public outcry did the church finally open as a shelter. His reputation was badly damaged. Then came the pandemic loan scandal. In 2020, Lakewood took $4.4 million from the Paycheck Protection Program. It was the third largest loan in Houston at the time. After months of criticism, the church returned the money in 2021, but the outrage lingered. Behind the polished image, the Osteen family has faced challenges. In 2014, a family accused a Lakewood staffer of injuring their toddler during a service. The church denied wrongdoing but quietly settled for $15,000, and in February 2024, Lakewood experienced its darkest day. During a Spanish-language service, a woman entered the church with an AR-15 rifle hidden under her coat. She opened fire, injuring a man and critically wounding her 7-year-old son. Off-duty officers killed the shooter, but the tragedy left lasting scars. The boy Samuel suffered severe brain damage. The attack raised urgent questions about gun laws, mental health, and security in houses of worship. Joel Osteen continues to preach messages of hope and positivity. His sermons are carefully memorized, often timed to 27 minutes to fit TV slots. His social media following is massive, more than 25 million on Facebook, 10 million on Twitter, and 5 million on Instagram. But the future is uncertain. Younger generations are walking away from megachurches. Only about 15–16% of millennials and Gen Z attend church regularly. Many prefer smaller communities and authentic connections over stadium-style worship. Lakewood is still one of the most influential churches in the world, but attendance and viewership are slipping. For some, Osteen's message of endless optimism feels out of touch in a world of rising costs, inequality, and everyday struggles. The question remains, can Joel Osteen adjust his ministry to connect with a new generation? Or will his empire, built on polished positivity and boundless confidence, eventually fade as people search for something more real?